Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So I've got my latest journal to share with you. So this I whipped up in the last, I think about 4 or 5 days as a favour to a dear friend of mine who wanted a journal as a Christmas gift for a family member. So it's going to a young lad who loves nature and likes lizards. Well, he likes lots of things, but this focuses mainly on lizards, frogs, and spiders. So if you don't like spiders, there is a signature here in here that's dedicated to spiders. It's just a junky, one of my typical junky journals that I've made in the same fashion as my frog journal that I just did. But I thought I'd share it just to show how I use some of my junk. It's not 100% completed. There were a few bits that I could have done a bit more stamping, stenciling, or I won't say adding any more stuff because it's way too fat as it is. But I really need to get it posted so it gets there in time. And I do have one more project to do, and then I'm having a week off from crafting so I can clean up my mess. That's my plan. So it is, again, a hardcover book that I've recycled, covered in upholstery fabric. I did receive some photos to add to this, and I've used one of them blown up on the cover because it's just an awesome photo. Absolutely perfect for the cover. And it was requested that I name it Lizzie, so it's named Lizzie. And I tried to do another book plate with my leather that I'm trying to recycle and my leather punches. So I have on there scorpion, spider, and spiderweb, I think. Yeah, and I just inlaid the word one and put some brads in. Then we've got some hessian on there. On the spine, I actually sewed the signatures through the cover. As it's going to a young lad, I wanted to make it a bit more sturdy. So I sewed it through the cover and then covered it in the upholstery fabric. So there's a few bumps on the spine from where it's been sewn through. I did add some belt like I did on the frog journal. Now this wasn't the end of the belt that had the holes already in it, so I punched holes in this. The hole punch I used left these rings, but I actually quite like that. So that's what I did there. And again, I did thread some of my strong cotton through so that I could add a dangle. And the dangle is one of my leather stamped and leather cut with my leather dye pieces, which has a spider on it that it has been coloured with Inca Gold. And I just used some jump rings and broken chain to apply that. And the back's just plain like that. So it's 4 signatures. I did 5 in the frog journal. This is a wider cover. It's about 2 inches. Thought I'd just do 4 so it didn't get too bulky, but it's huge. It's like a brick. Yes. Getting a bit out of control here. Although there's lots in here that I have added for the recipient to be able to play around with and stick into the journal and move around in there. So my advice to the owner is to take the stuff out. It'll bulk it, it'll be a lot less bulky, and then just add bits and pieces where they want to that way, and they can have a bit of fun with it. So we'll get in and have a look. So I've left it plain up here. I was going to put a book plate, but I didn't have one that I really liked. But I thought this would be a great spot for the recipient to add the photo that they like themselves on there. Or write what they like on there. So it's got the bottom of a paper bag here, and in there is a stack of photos. So they're personal photos, so I'm not going to show them. There's some stamps. I found some little stickers, and just all sorts of bits and pieces in the themes that I've got in here. That's a personal photo as well, but I think I can share that one safely. I thought I would use that as the front page because it's about a reptile and wildlife park. So I had some of these out of an old book which I really loved. I did make some sort of information journaling cards on the lizards and spiders, I think. I did make more of my specimen slides. The actual slides were a printable from Which Craft Do You Do. I had some snake skin here, so I thought that would be heaps of fun to put into my slides. So that's what I did. Now, the little pocket I've got here was a business card holder. If you saw my frog journal, I did use a vintage business card holder for that one. I thought these plastic ones would be a little more sturdy, so I put these in for this one. And I've sewed around a majority of the pockets, as I thought that might make them a little sturdier for the recipient too. I thought because they're a bit younger, it would be good to try and make things a little more sturdy, although not everything is. So we'll see. Bit of stamping. So this first signature is like reptiles, lizards, really. I had a whole lot of these collector style cards, so I've whacked a whole pile of them in because they can be removed and stuck wherever, and some of them have the information on the back, which I think is interesting. Beautiful pages from Which Craft Do You Do? So I used a number of, there's heaps of book page pictures in here, and they would all be from books that I've grabbed out of the recycling bin. Fortunately, I find it hard to let any decent pictures go. So I have, you know, most themes you can think of, I have saved. And it was really good to get using some, get the bulk down. Yeah, so fortunately I had a whole heap of lizard and spider pictures and that sort of thing. Not so many spider ones because it's not such a popular theme, but I did a bit of fussy cutting. I think that's a poem on the bearded dragon. So some information there and a few more of my cards. This is a big envelope, a big vintage envelope that I've put in as a page. A big journaling card there. So there's still heaps of writing space and heaps of space for bits and pieces to be stuck in. There's the back of the envelope. This was a paper bag. And you can see I've left a lot of tuck spots underneath as well as inside the pockets. So there's a lot of room to add bits and pieces. Love this. That's out of a encyclopedia. I've added a few of the names and a fair bit of information because I think for a young lad that's interested in this sort of thing that would be fun. I like to learn as I go through things. I learn a lot making these journals, actually. Heaps of fun. Another lizard. This envelope that I've cut down. The papers are the Which Craft Do You Do papers and book page and tea and acrylic dyed papers. So I've added a pile of my blank tags, which are made from your shopping bags. Thought that would be fun for the recipient to be able to write things on or stick their pictures on. And now I've got a little thumb notch on that side. It makes it a bit easier. Be able to write and stick things in them and put them where they like. Oh, I haven't backed that one. Oh well, I've backed most of these so they can be written on because these particular ones didn't have information on the back. So I hope you are all going well with your preparations for whatever you're doing for Christmas. I'm having a very quiet one and I'm so looking forward to it. Yeah, so this is one of the unfinished pieces. Nothing in there, nothing behind there. But it's there if the recipient wants to get their own information and needs somewhere to put it. There's some room for that still. Some more cards. This is a bit of the envelope as well that got cut off. So I tried to use up lots of scrap bits here. There's another one of these pockets. Some information behind on the frill-necked lizard. And then in there I've made this big journaling card. I love that picture. Such weird looking things. So yeah, 2 signatures are based on lizards, mostly lizards. Love that paper that came out of a book. So this must be the 2nd signature on lizards. So I've got skinks here, paint chip, journaling card. So I could have embellished a lot more, but I thought young boys, I don't think they're really into, you know, all the little fussy embellishments and lace pieces and that sort of thing. So I kept it pretty simple. So paper bag page, lots of room to store bits and pieces. This is another side of one of the envelopes, and that flips down, so you could stick things behind there. I made this little booklet of some information, some pages on information on lizards, which I thought I really liked the look of. Didn't want to cut them down, didn't really know how to stick them in, so I just used some paper to do a weird kind of tab binding to put them together. I was going to stick them to a page and I was going to sew them together in this certain fashion, and then I realised I'd cut some of them too short, so I developed some really weird tab binding for that. What did they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah. This is an envelope that I made ages ago, but I liked the colour of it against that page, so I've put that in there, and that holds. I thought the young lad will have some nice surprises because there's a few of your pockets that have just a whole lot of stuff in there. So I had a whole lot of little pictures. I thought I would put them in, a bit more information. And that all goes in that little seed pocket. So this is the type of thing that can be removed and would reduce the bulk that's in the journal. It's a tuck spot behind this little pocket. Other side of the paper bag that's just got a few little bits in there. Some of the paper that I dyed on, it's greaseproof paper. So CD envelope with the chameleon in it, and then you open it up and there's one underneath, and that is a journaling card as well. It's just a journaling card picture. A top tuck spot. I like how his tongue's out there, so I had that picture and thought I'd stick that in there as well. Bit of fun. Another bit of the business card holder. I've got one of those in each signature, and just some of these collector cards, and I have backed those ones. I've got a big picture there. So now we're up to the scary signature. So yeah, I got the words from the James Patterson book. I'd use anything. But I thought, oh, they look like fun to use, so I stuck them on there. And the first page, title page. This is a paper bag that I cut down with some blank tags in it. I love this stamp. I found that in my stash, the spider stamp with the webs. I've used them a bit. There's the front page of the book and journaling card with information. I mean, I think it's awesome to see a young lad of his age being so interested in outdoors and nature. So I thought this is a wonderful gift for his grandmother to buy him. Yep, so Redback spider bits. I rated my stickers and I did find the little stickers with some reptiles, and I found that spider one and I thought that'd be heaps of fun to add. And I'll tell you what, it was so good. I have like kept so much rubbish and I always think, when am I ever going to use it? I'm never going to use this, I should clear it out. But then something like this will happen and you realise, no, it's actually handy to keep absolutely everything. So you might find a use for it one day. I love this. Looks quite gothic, a bit creepy, woodland. The trapdoor spider. Is it a trapdoor? No, sorry, funnel web. They both look quite similar. And then some information. This is about collecting your own spider web. Thought that was interesting. And then this spider, beautiful encyclopedia page. The wolf spider, got plenty of them out in the garden, don't we, here in Australia? And then some information about spiders and their webs and a poem. It's another little booklet I made because I couldn't figure out which page I wanted to use. So I've just joined these together with a fabric hinge. They slip into this pocket. Then this is a cutlery holder pocket, a cutlery pocket, I should say. And I've just stuck a little journaling card in there, a bit of paper behind, some stenciling, which craft do you do stencil. And then this is one of your plastic CD pockets. I thought it was great to use them because this is the sort of thing I buy to store ephemera and that in, but it sort of sits around a bit, because you have so many of them. I made a great little pocket, I think, for this young lad. So a journal card in there, and then in the back I was able to put some of the personal photos and some more spider bits to stick around the place. The jumping spider, I have heaps of these as well, so it was great to use. I used a lot of the pictures from these collector cards. Put one in here as a page. Features of the crab spider, some more blank tags. So I think that's a tuck spot, and then there's another one here. Really couldn't put any more in this until they take out the big bulky pocket things with all the bits and pieces in, and then they can put things where they like. So there's a journal card behind there, and then a collector card, and this is a specimen. I did this in one of my previous journals. Went and collected my own web. I get the nice dirty ones because they show up well. You should have seen me. The neighbours would have been laughing because I was out the front in my veranda snipping away at all these spider webs. And mind you, I have arachnophobia. You wouldn't believe me because I've put this together, but I do. I'm a lot better with pictures now that I'm older. And I'm okay with smaller spiders, depending on what type they are. But the big furries, I cannot deal with. So, yeah. So it was quite interesting going out and trying to get myself some spider web. So, yeah, I love these pages. So this was probably off of the front of one of those collector cards. Beautiful picture. And this is a book cover. So this is our frog signature, which is the last signature. I've got a paper bag here, and it has another paint chip. These are your strawberry dart frogs or poison. Yeah, strawberry dart frog, and that's a golden poison dart frog. And I used some of the envelopes that I had inked for my frog journal I'm going to use them in here. So they hold really nicely, the little collector cards. And behind there I found a couple of stickers with frogs. They were in a book that was in the bin, where someone had pulled most of the stickers out and stuck them in the book, but there were a couple that hadn't been stuck, so I'm glad I hung on to them. I love these photos. So another one of the envelopes that I just folded over, and that's a little tuck spot there. That opens up, some more of the collector cards. It's another part of the big envelope. And this is just some information. I've stitched the 2 pages together so you can read the back and front. They're the dorkiest things. Yeah, just love all the looks when they're moving. Another paint chip, was going to embellish it, never got around to it, so it's just there. I like the colours in it. A bit slack, aren't I? Cutlery, is that a cutlery holder? It's one of those. No, it's the other half of that, one of those sort of pocket things. A little paper bag that I stamped, and that has some frog-themed postage stamps in it. That'd be fun too. I was going to use postage stamps to embellish, and then I thought, no, I want to let them do that. Have some fun. That's this really weird spider. Thought since we've got spiders in the journal that I would not cover that over. Same with the snake. I didn't bother covering him over either. Beautiful frog picture. Look at it. He's almost furry like a teddy bear, isn't he? So he doesn't bother me too much, but another envelope which you can flip up and stick something under. A whole pile of collector cards in there. So the other side of the envelope page, I've left it open so I can fit bigger things in there, and another little booklet. I love the frogs. So another little booklet just about the frog's life. That slips in there. Little bit of the envelope that I cut off, made another pocket with some smaller tags. So it's not sitting too flat, it is pretty chunky. Probably shouldn't have put so much in there, but you know what it's like, you get carried away. So this is the life cycle of the frog. So I've got a couple of specimen cards on that theme. And then some information about the life cycle. And then I had this postcard hanging around. It had been written on, so I've backed it. That slips in there. And then the back is a paint chip with my stamping. Had a couple of these. These come out of a magazine. They're sort of like postcard things. So I've backed those, and they say Merry Christmas and best wishes. And then this Ziploc bag that has, again, a whole stack of froggy bits and pieces in there. So that is it for my, I don't know what I'd call it, nature journal. Really enjoyed making that. I would have liked to have had a bit more time, but that was my bad. So I was so busy this month. Yeah. But yeah, glad to have it done anyway, and I can post it off today, and then hopefully it should get there in time. So have a good one, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Yes, you shall see one more project from me. I've got my second hashtag 2023 DD Advent make to do, which you should see in another couple of days. And then I shall hopefully be having a break for Christmas. So take care, be good, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.